Hare Krishna, welcome everyone. We'll begin with our prayers. Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Chakshuro Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Mano Vishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamsha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजना सहितं कृष्ण चैतन्य देवं श्री राधा कृष्ण पादान् सहगणा ललिता श्री विशाखान्वितांश्च हे कृष्णा करुणा सिंधु दीनबंधु जगतपते गोपेश गोपिका कांत राधा कांत नमोस्तुते तप्त कांचना गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्यैव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामी निधि नामिने नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देश तारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद हरे कृष्ण हरे राम 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 हरे हरे Hare Krishna. So we are continuing our discussion from Srimad Bhagvatam, Canto 4, Chapter 17 today. So in this canto, we have heard the wonderful story of Dhruva Maharaj. Maitreya Muni, Vidurji, he asks about Dhruva Maharaj and not about he asks about the dynasty of Uttanpad and not about the dynasty of Priyavrat first, because he wanted to hear the glories of Dhruva Maharaj. So we heard the wonderful story of Dhruva Maharaj, and then in the end of this whole pastime, Narad Muni told that Maitreya Muni told that Narad Muni described the story of Dhruva Maharaj in the assembly of Prachetas. And that led to a further inquiry by Vidurji. Please tell us about the Prachetas. Who are they? How did they meet Narad Muni? So because Prachetas, they fall in the family of the dynasty of Dhruva Maharaj. So Maitreya Muni starts describing the dynasty of Dhruva Maharaj. So in the dynasty of Dhruva Maharaj, there was a great king, Anga. Anga, he got married to another lady. Her name was Sunitha. And this Sunitha, she was the daughter of death personified. And because of this, the son which was born was of a very crooked nature, and his name was Vena. So this Vena, he would kill animals, he would kill his friends while playing, and everybody was really upset with this Vena. But because they had no other king, they had no other option, so they were all tolerating the atrocities of Vena. Ultimately, Anga Maharaj, he became so upset that he left without informing anyone. Then Vena became king. Vena, he performed so many wrong rituals, wrong deeds. He stopped all the yajna and he chastised even sages. The sages became angry and then they killed him by just chanting some hunkar. And then again, the dacoits and the thieves started increasing in the dynasty, in the kingdom. So they came together and they thought we have to do something. They churned the thighs of Vena, and from there came out. Who came out? Bahuka. So Bahuka, he was the forefather of Nishada race. He was sent to the forest, and then they again churned the hands of Vena, and from there came out a couple, Prithu Maharaj and Archi. So Prithu, he is the avatar of the Palana Shakti of the Lord. And Arshi is the expansion of the Lakshmi Devi. So we heard in the last chapter all the great sages and bards and professional reciters, they are glorifying Prithu Maharaj because he is the avatar of the Lord. Prithu says it is not good that you are glorifying me for something which I have not done yet. Still they continued to glorify him. And then in the discussion of glorification of Prithu Maharaj, it is described about the future pastimes of Prithu Maharaj, how he will level the earth, milk the earth, and he'll perform 100 Ashwamedh Yajna. Then he'll hear knowledge from Sanat Kumar. He'll punish Mother Earth also. So all these things was described. Okay, so now we'll continue with the 17th chapter. Maharaj Prithu becomes angry at the earth. Maitreya Uvacha Evam sa Bhagavan Vainya Dhyapito Gunakarmabhi Chandayamasa Tan Kamai Yati Pujya Abhinandya Cha.
The great sage Maitreya continued in this way. The reciters who were glorifying Maharaj Prithu readily described his qualities and chivalrous activities. At the end, Maharaja Prithu offered them various presentations with all due respect and worshipped them adequately.
So that's how Prithu Maharaj, he offered them all the gifts and worshipped them also. So in this chapter, we'll be seeing how Prithu Maharaj, as he's ruling the earth comes, all the people they come, and they are telling Prithu Maharaj that we are not getting any food. No grains are coming out of earth. Can you please do something? So Prithu becomes angry on Mother Earth and he chastises Mother Earth. Next verse, translation please.
King Prithu, thus satisfied and offered all respects to all leaders of the Brahmanas and other castes, to his servants, to his ministers, and to the priests, citizens, general countrymen, people from other communities, admirers, and others. And thus they all became happy.
Okay, next translation.
Vidura inquired from great sage Maitreya, my dear Brahmana, since Mother Earth can appear in different shapes, why did she take the shape of a cow? And when King Prithu milked her, who became the calf, and what was the milking cow?
So now Vidurji, he asks a question. Kasmat dadhar gorupam dharitri bahurupini. Although Mother Earth can take many forms, why she's appearing as a gorupam, as a cow? And to milk a cow, we need a calf. And you said that Prithu Maharaj milked the cow. So who became the calf? And what was the milking pot in which the milk was collected? Next verse.
The surface of the earth. The surface of the earth is by nature low in some places and high in others. How did King Prithu level the surface of the earth? And why did King of Heaven Indra steal the horse made for the sacrifice?
So this is another question he's asking. So how he leveled the earth and why Indra stole the horse first of all. Next verse, translation. The great saintly king Maharaj Prithu received knowledge from Sanat Kumar, who was the greatest Vedic scholar. After receiving knowledge to be applied practically in his life, how did the saintly king attain his desired destination? Sanat Kumarat Bhagavato Brahma Viduttamat Labdhva Jnanam Savijnanam Rajarshi Kam Gatim Gata. So he says, O great Rishi, O great Rajarishi, he says, Brahman, O saintly, O Brahmana, can you please tell me why and how this Prithu Maharaj, he received knowledge from Sanat Kumar, who is Brahmavit. and he is the greatest. Brahmavid means he's a knower of the knowledge, absolute truth, and he's the greatest Vedic scholar. He's not an ordinary person. Sanat Kumar is not an ordinary person. And Labdhva Jnanam Savijnanam, after receiving the knowledge and applied knowledge, Vigyan and Savijnanam, what was the destination of Rajrishi? That is Ritu Maharaj. What was the destination of this king? So now, why he is asking this question? Because Ritu Maharaj was a pure devotee and Sanat Kumar was still a Gyan Mishra Bhakta. He has not achieved, that the pastime of third canto, it has not happened yet. So, what was the destination? Did he emerge in Brahman? That's the question, because he is Gyan Mishra. So, because Kumaras met Vishnu in 6th Manvantar, it is described, in 6th Manvantar it comes. And Prithu Maharaj's pastime is happening in 1st Manvantar. So, he is asking, what is the destination he achieved? Because he is already a pure devotee and they are Gyan Mishra Bhakta. So how is it that he got knowledge from Sanat Kumar and where did he reach? So Prabhupada writes, he talks about the 4 Kumaras, the Kumara Sampradaya. Vedic knowledge must be accepted from a guru who is coming in the disciplic succession. It is said that unless one accepts a mantra from one of these sampradayas, the so-called mantra will not act in Kali Yuga. Sampradaya vihinaye mantraste nishphala mata. Prabhupada would quote this many times. I think here also, no, he's not writing this. Sampradaya vihinaye. If somebody is not accepting a mantra in a proper sampradaya, mantraste nishphala. This mantra will not give any result. So Prabhupada is writing that. The rascals of these so-called sampradayas do not observe the Vedic rules and regulations, and they are addicted to so many sinful acts, and then they give mantra also. So it will not do any success, it will not do any favor to anyone. Intelligent persons, however, know that such mantras will never be successful, and as such, they never patronize such upstart spiritual groups. People should be very careful of these nonsensical sampradaya. So that is what he is asking. So Vidurji basically asks 5 questions. Why did the earth take the form of cow? Who was the calf? What was the milking pot? Then how did Prithu make the earth level? Then why did Indra steal the horse? And what was the knowledge Prithu Maharaj received from Sanat Kumar? So these are the 5 questions. And then he is asking some more questions. Yachannadapi Krishnasya Bhavan Bhagavata Prabho Shrava Shushrava Punyam Shrava Shushrava Punyam Purvadeha Kathashayam Bhaktaya Me Anuraktaya Kavachadhokshajasya Bhaktum Arhasi Yodohya Vainya Rupena Gam Imam.
Ritu Maharaj was a powerful incarnation of Lord Krishna's potencies. Consequently, any narration concerning his activities is surely very pleasing to hear, and it produces all good fortune. As far as I am concerned, I am always your devotee, as well as a devotee of the Lord, who is known as Adhokshaja. Please, therefore, narrate all the stories of King Prithu, who, in the form of the son of King Vena, milked the cow-shaped earth.
This is Yacha Anyat Api Krishnasya. So please narrate all the glorious topics of Ritu Maharaj, which are Shrava, Shushrava Saha Punyam. Shrava means they are glorious. Sushrava Saha means they are very pleasing to hear. Sushrava. Sushrava is a very common term. Sushrava. And they are Punyam, they are pious also. So can you please tell me all these wonderful pastimes? Purva Deha Kathashrayam, of the incarnation of the Lord. And why you should tell me? Because Bhaktaya me anuraktaya. Because I am your attentive devotee. Anuraktaya devotee. Anuraktaya means very much attentive. I am your devotee and anurakta, very attentive devotee. I'll hear attentively. I'll not be spaced out. Tava adhokshajasya cha. And I also am a devotee of the Lord. I am your devotee. I am devotee of the Lord also. Can you please tell me all the wonderful pastimes which Lord performed as Prithu? So Prabhupada writes, Krishna is called as Avatari, and from whom all the avatars they come. Prabhupada writes about all the various types of avatar, Guna avatar, Brahma, Vishnu, Mahesh, they are Guna avatar. And Adhokshaja, the word used here is Adhokshajaya. Adhokshaja means one who cannot be perceived by senses, material senses. So no one can perceive the Lord by mental speculation. Just by thinking, one cannot know about the Lord. One has to surrender to the authorities. Then only one can know the Lord. Adhokshaja. So he's telling, please describe the Punya Katha. It comes in the previous canto about the qualities of Leela Avatar Katha. Pradhanyatoya Trishan Mananti Leela Avataran Purushasya Bhumna Apiyatam Karna Kashaya Shoshan Anukramishya Yaiman Supeshan. So he says, these Brahmaji is telling. Brahmaji in the second canto, he describes all the Purusha Avatar. And then he says, now I'll tell you what is dear to me. I'll describe Leela Avatar. What is Leela Avatar? What is the glory? They are apiyatam. They are worth relishing. Apiyatam. They are worth drinking. Piyatam. Inayogya. Apiyatam karna kashaya shoshan. They can destroy all the foul matter accumulated in the ears. Karna kashaya. Kaan ki gandagi. All the wrong things which we have heard, they can be purified by hearing Harikatha. Apiyatam, Karnakashaya Shoshan, and Anukramishe. I will speak whatever is described by great souls also. They are supeshan, they are very attractive. So these are the qualities of Leela Avatar Katha. So therefore, whenever somebody wants to encourage the speaker, the first thing which they say is, I have faith in your words. ऐसा नहीं कि हाँ देखते हैं आप कितना बोलते हैं, सही बोलते हैं कि नहीं, बाद में I will check. No, I have faith in your. I am your devotee. Devotee means I have faith in your words. That's why in the first canto also, all the Shaunakadi rishis, when they tell Suta Goswami in the 18th chapter, they say, you are great Bhagavata Tanno Bhavan Vai Bhagavat Pradhano. याद है किसी को? तन्नो भवान वै भगवत प्रधानो महत्तमैकांत परायणस्य. You are Bhagavat Pradhan, you are greatest of the devotee. We are Shushrushatam, we are eager to hear. And the topic is Krishna Katha. So that's why we are eager to hear. Can you please tell us more? So here also, Vidurji is telling, can you please tell us about the glories of Prithu Maharaj? So Prabhupada writes about this avatar and avatari. So now Suta Goswami, the camera shifts on Suta Goswami. Because Suta Goswami and Shaunakadi Rishi conversation is going on, in that he is describing Vidur Maitreya Samvad. So now Suta Goswami is saying something. Suta Uvacha Chodito Vidurena Ivam Vasudeva Katham Prati Prashasyatam Pritamana Maitreya Pratyabhashata.
Suta Goswami continued, when Vidura became inspired to hear of the activities of Lord Krishna in his various incarnations, Maitreya also being inspired and being very pleased with Vidura began to praise him. Then Maitreya spoke as follows.
Yes. So Maitreya first praised Vidurji. He was very inspired. Prabhupada writes, talk of Krishna Katha is spiritually so inspiring that the reciter and the hearer never exhausted. That is the nature of spiritual talks. One can never become satiated. There is no satiation. There is no boredom in hearing Harikatha. In the previous chapter also, in the previous canto, third canto, Vidurji told Maitreya, please describe more about Krishna. I have heard enough of Dharma, Artha, Kama, Moksha, Mahabharata. I have heard a lot from my father Vyasdev. They have not satisfied me. I want to hear Harikatha. Maitreya says, you must have heard Harikatha also a lot, right? You are born in the family of Krishna. Who can be satisfied hearing Harikatha? Kastripnuyat tirthapada vidhana. Kastripnuyat. Who can be satisfied? So that's what Prabhupada is writing. So Maitreya was very happy, being inspired and pleased with Vidura.
One question. Is Maitreya, why Maitreya is so prominent in speaking all these pastimes? Maitreya is speaking, no, all these Vidura. Can you again, you told us, but why Maitreya is chosen?
Because Maitreya, when Vidurji went to Uddhav, he was traveling.
Correct.
He reached Prabhas. There he came to know Krishna has departed. Then he continued to travel. He reached Vrindavan. He met with Uddhav on the bank of Yamuna. They discussed Harikatha. Vidurji asked about Krishna and the dynasty of Krishna and everything. Uddhav said, oh, Krishna Dyumani Nimaloche. Oh, Krishna sun has set. And then he started telling how when Krishna was leaving, I was there under the banyan tree. He was sitting after destroying all the Yadus. He was there. And I reached. And then I asked him about his Paramam Sthiti, the highest knowledge. That time, Krishna told me very confidential knowledge. So, and then he didn't tell what was the confidential knowledge. And Vidurji, he told everything about birth and various pastimes of Krishna which are described. Then Vidurji asked, can you please tell me about that Paramam Sthiti knowledge? So at that time, Uddhav thought, I am not qualified to speak to Vidurji because he is elder to me. Maryada Vyatitram ho jayega. So he told, when Krishna was telling me this knowledge, Maitreya was also there. He also heard everything. Okay, please go and ask him. And then he left. Uddhavji left for Badrikashram. So then Vidurji traveled from Vrindavan to Haridwar. There he met Maitreya. And that's where the conversation started.
Thank you.
So Prabhupada writes, both of them are devotees, and the more Vidur inquires, the more Maitreya is encouraged to speak. The symptom of spiritual talks is that no one feels tired. Thus, upon hearing the questions of Vidura, the great sage Maitreya did not feel disgusted. एक ही बार कितना पूछ रहे हैं, बस हो गया. He didn't tell enough of this Krishna Katha. Rather felt encouraged to speak at greater length. So Maitreya, he continued. Next verse, translation.
The great sage Maitreya continued, my dear Vidura, the time King Prithu was enthroned by the great sages and Brahmanas and declared to be a protector of the citizens, there was a scarcity of food grains. The citizens actually became skinny due to starvation. Therefore, they came before the king and informed him of their real situation.
Yeah. So now Maitreya started what happened. So when Prithu Maharaj became king, it seemed that apparently, because Vena, he was such a cruel king, nothing was growing. And Prabhupada writes about the Varnashram system. When an evil king like Vena ruled, the Brahmanas would kill him through Brahmanical powers and select a proper ruler. In other words, Brahmanas would control monarchical powers. So it talks about the role of Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, and all that. Brahmanas are supposed to guide, Kshatriyas are supposed to protect, Vaishyas are supposed to take care of the cows, grains, and Shudras, they are the worker class. That is a perfect system. So now, because Kshatriya, he is supposed to protect. So all the citizens, they came to Prithu Maharaj and they are telling what is happening in the kingdom. Next verse, translations.
Dear king, just as tree with fire burning in the hollow of trunk gradually dries up, we are drying up due to the fire of hunger in our stomach. You are the protector of surrendered souls, and you have been appointed to give employment to us. Therefore, we have all come to you for protection. You are not only a king, but the incarnation of God as well. Indeed, you are the king of all kings. You can give us all kinds of occupational engagements, for you are the matter of our livelihood. Therefore, O king of all kings, please arrange to satisfy our hunger by proper distribution of food. Then please take care of us, lest we soon die for want of food.
So they are saying, Twamadya yata sharanam sharanyam. The word used here is Tvam adyayata sharanam. We have come to your shelter because you are Sharanya. Sharanya means you are worth taking shelter of. And you are Sharanya. You are Vritti Karapati. You are the master of our livelihood. And you are Lokapalaha. Last word is Lokapala. You are the protector of the citizens also. So therefore, please protect us. We are dying because of hunger. There is no grain which is growing. So Prabhupada again talks about the role of a Kshatriya. How a Kshatriya should protect everyone. Prabhupada writes, it is the duty of the king to see that everyone in social order is fully employed. Just as it is the duty of Brahmana is to elect a proper king, it is duty of king to see that all the varnas are fully engaged. No one should be lazy. And when people are perplexed in this way, they should approach the head of the government and the president should take immediate action to mitigate the distress. So the citizens now, they have come to Prithu Maharaj. Maitreya continues. Next verse translation.
After hearing these lamentation and seeing the pitiable condition of the citizens, King Prithu contemplated this matter for a long time to see if he could find out the underlying causes.
Next.
Having arrived at the conclusion, the king took up his bow and arrow and aimed them at the earth, exactly like Lord Shiva, who destroyed the whole world out of anger.
So Prithu Maharaj concluded that there is no other problem but one. Mother Earth is not producing grains. Because I am the king, I am upholder of dharma, and the citizens are not doing anything wrong. So there is one reason only, earth is not producing grains. So he became angry like Lord Shiva. Prabhupada writes. Prithu found out the cause for scarcity of grains. What was the scarcity? What was the cause? The earth was not producing sufficient grains. This indicates that earth can produce sufficiently if everything is arranged. But sometimes the earth can refuse to produce food grains for various reasons. The theory is that there is scarcity of grains due to increase in population is not a very sound theory. Mother Earth can provide for 10 times population. There is no dearth for production. But the earth, when she sees that all the people are exploiting my resources and they're not using it in the service of my Lord, then she starts restraining all her resources. That is what is happening here. So Prithu Maharaj, as he aimed his bow and arrow to towards Mother Earth, ready to kill her. Pravepamana dharani nishamyodayudham taschatam Gausatya apadravadbhita Mrigiva Mrigayudruta.
When the earth saw that King Prithvi was taking his bow and arrow to kill her, she became very much afraid and began to tremble. She then began to flee exactly like a deer, which runs very swiftly when followed by a hunter. Being afraid of King Prithvi, she took the shape of cow and began.
So she took the form of a cow. So if a person does something wrong and tries to hide, it takes a different form. Takes the form of an innocent person if he has to hide. So the most innocent animal is cow. So therefore Mother Earth took the form of a cow. So Arishtasur, he took the form of a bull because he knew Krishna is the protector of the cow and the bulls. So therefore there is little bit of security. That's why she is taking the form of a cow. Prabhupada writes. Just as mother produces various children, both male and female, the womb of the Mother Earth produces all kinds of living entities in various shapes. So it is possible for Earth to take on innumerable shapes. The Earth can take many shapes because all the shapes they come from Mother Earth only. Since the cow is never to be killed, Mother Earth thought it wise to take the shape of a cow in order to avoid Prithu's arrows. But Prithu Maharaj didn't stop. Next verse translation.
Saying this, Maharaja Prithu became very angry and his eyes became as red as early morning sun. Pressing an arrow on his bow, he chased the cow shape off wherever she would run.
So Prithu could understand that she has taken the form of cow because she wants to escape my punishment. Sure. He didn't stop. He continued to chase her wherever she would go. Next verse.
Cow-shaped Earth ran here and there in outer space between the heavenly planets and the Earth, and whenever she ran, the king chased her with his bow and arrows.
Next.
Just as man cannot escape the cruel hands of death, the cow-shaped earth could not escape the hands of son of Bena. At length, the earth, fearful her herd, aggrieved, turned back in the helplessness.
So no one can run away from death. Prabhupada tells a story of a person who saw Yamraj and he understood, Arey, now my death is near him only, it seems. He started running. Wherever he would go, he would see Yamraj smiling. And he ran a long distance and then ultimately he died of heart attack. So somebody asked Yamraj, why you are smiling at that person? Because of your smile, he ran all the distance. He said, I was smiling because I thought that this person is supposed to die at a different place. How is he here? How he will reach there? So I was smiling. So nobody can escape death. So she understood that I can't run away from Prithu Maharaj. So ultimately, she turned towards him in desperation. Uvacha cha mahabhagam dharmagyapanna vatsala trahi mam abhibhutanam palane avastito bhavan.
Addressing the great opulent king Prithu as the knower of religious principles and shelter of the surrender, she said, please save me. You are the protector of all living entities. Now you are situated as the king of this planet.
Uvachcha Mahabhagam, O greatly opulent king Mahabhaga, you are Dharmagya, you are the knower of Dharma. You are Apanna Vatsala, Apanna means one who has surrendered. You are the protector of those who are surrendering to you. Trahi mam api bhutanam, please save me. You are the protector of all the living entities. And Palane avasthito. Now you are situated as a king also, Palane. So she is giving three reasons. You are Dharmagya, you are Apanna Vatsal, and you are king. And you should protect the living entities. So therefore you protect me. Because a Dharmagya knows a child, Prabhupada writes, the five groups of people, they should never be punished. A woman, a cow, a child, a Brahman, and an old man. They must be given all protection. So she is saying, I am a woman, I am a cow. So you should save me, you should protect me. Why are you killing me? Prabhupada writes. She reminded Prithu that not only he was the incarnation of God, but he was situated as a king. So it is a duty of the king to protect the citizens. And it was the duty of the king, even if the woman or cow or child does something wrong, or an old man or a Brahman does something wrong, they should not be punished. So why are you punishing me? Next verse. Saptam jighamsase kasmat deenamakrita kilbisham ahanishyadyatham yosham dharmagyo iti yo matah.
The cows take
The cows have all continued to appeal to the king. I am very poor and I have not committed any sinful activities. I do not know why you want to kill me. Since you are supposed to be the lawyer of all religious principles, why are you so envious of me? And why are you so anxious to kill a woman?
So now another three reasons she is giving. I am Deena, I am very poor, I am akritical bisham, I have not done anything wrong, and I am a woman. How can you kill a woman? Anishyat katham yosham. You are dharmagya. How can you kill? Sattvam jigham sase kasmad. Why you want to kill me? I am very poor, I have not done anything wrong, and I am a woman. Praharanti na vai strishu कृतागस्वपि जन्तवः किमुतत्त्वद्विधाराजन् करुणादीनवत्सलाः.
Even if a woman does commit some sinful activity, no one should place his hand upon her. And what to speak of you? You are king who are so much. You are a protector and you are affectionate to the poor.
So a few more reasons she gives. I am a woman, again she's saying. Again and again she's giving this reason. You are a king, I am a woman, you are a protector of, poor people. So please don't kill me. Next verse. Mam vipatyajaram navam yatra vishvam pratishtitam atmanam cha prajashema katham vasidhasyase.
The cowshed continued, my dear king, I am just like a strong boat, and all the paraphernalia of the world is standing upon me. If you break me to pieces, how can you protect yourself and your subjects from drowning?
So if you break me, if you kill me, how will you protect your citizens? Where will you keep your citizens? So these are some of the reasons which she has given. So entire Mother Earth means entire Bhumandal. So if the Bhumandal is destroyed, how the living entities will survive? Where they'll stay? Everybody will go in Garbhuda question. So these are the various reasons she gave. Now from 22 to 27 verses, Ritu Maharaj, he answers all the arguments of Mother Earth. So first, she said, I have not done anything wrong, akrit kilbisham. So in first three verses, he is answering that. Prithu Maharaj says, Prithu uvacha vasudhe tvam vadhishyami mashyashan paran mukhim bhagam barhishyavringte natanoti chano vasu.
King Kudu replied to the earthly planet, my dear, you have disobeyed my orders and ruling. In the form of a demigod, you accepted your share of the yajnas we performed, but in return you have not produced sufficient food grains. For this reason, I must kill you.
So why I'll kill you? It is not that you have not done anything wrong. You have disobeyed my orders. You're not innocent or sinless. You have disobeyed my order. That is a sin. Nobody should disobey the order of a king. And secondly, the problem is you are accepting your share of sacrifices which are offered to you in yajna, but you are not giving grains. That is your second sin. Next verse, translation.
Although you are eating green grass every day, you are not filling your milk bag, so we can utilize your milk. Since you are willfully committing offenses, it cannot be said that you are not punishable due to your assuming the form of a cow.
So because she is the form of a cow, he is using the same language. You are eating grass and you are not giving milk. It is a sin. So therefore, you deserve to be killed. So Prabhupada writes, cow eats grass and fills her milk bag so that cowherd man can milk her. Yajnas are performed to produce sufficient clouds that will pour water. Yajnad bhavati parjanyo, Bhagavad Gita Krishna says. So the word paya can refer to both milk and water. So you're not giving rise to any grains. You are accepting all the yajna offerings, but you are not producing grains. So it is your sin. Next verse, translation.
How to understand this? Yajna was stopped by Veda. But how Prithu Maharaj is saying Yajna was performed anyway.
Even after yajna was performed, she was not giving.
After that,
Yeah, yajna started again.
Prithu Maharaj started again.
But still, Mother Earth is not giving grains yet. So therefore he is angry. Next verse.
You have so lost your intelligence that, despite my orders, you do not deliver the seeds of crops and grains formerly created by Brahma and now hidden within your tent.
So the grains are given by Brahmaji, the seeds. The seed is not your property. Seeds are created by Brahma, and they are kept in your custody, and you are not releasing it. It is a sin. So Prabhupada writes, while creating all the planets, Brahma created the seeds of various grains. When sufficient water falls from the clouds, the seeds fructify and produce fruits, grains, and vegetables. So therefore, Prithu Maharaj is saying, whenever scarcity, Prithu Maharaj indicates that whenever there is scarcity in food production, the head of the government should take steps to see why production is being held up. Next verse. Amusham Shudparitanam
Anusham Shudpuritanam
Artanam Paridevtam
Artanam Paridevam
Shamayishyami Madbanai
Savayami Madhvani
Vinnayastava Medasa.
now with the help of my arrows, I shall cut you to pieces, and with your flesh satisfy the hunger-stricken citizens, who are now crying for want of drink. Thus I shall satisfy the crying citizens of my kingdom.
Oh, he says the first question she raised was, how can I am sinless? So in 22, 23, 24, he said, you are not sinless, you have done a sin. You have not accepted my advice. You have not given grains, although you are eating grains, you are eating your offering in yajna, you are not giving anything in return. So you are not sinless. Now the second thing she said is, how can you kill a cow? How can you feed them cow meat? If you kill me, how can you feed cow meat? So now he is saying, I shall cut you to pieces and I'll, with your flesh, satisfy my citizens. So he says, Prabhupada writes, here we find some indication of how government can arrange for eating of the flesh. Only in a circumstance where there is no grains available. Not otherwise. So the slaughterhouses, they are not sanctioned in the ideal government. Prabhupada writes, as described in a previous verse, the cows and other animals should be given sufficient grass to eat. If despite a sufficient supply of grass, a cow does not supply milk, then in acute shortage, the dried up cow may be utilized to feed the hungry people. So still there is no provision for killing a cow. If the cow dies, then the dried up cow can be used to eat. According to the law of necessity, first of all, human society must try to produce food grains. But if they fail in this, they can indulge in flesh eating, otherwise not. So that's how Prabhupada is describing. There is no option of slaughterhouses. It is not that one can open slaughterhouses and kill the animals and the cows indiscriminately. It is never an option. Next verse. He gives another very important reason now. In one of the reasons, Mother Cow said, "How can you kill a woman?" So first reason she gave is, "I have not done any sin." He said, "You have disobeyed my order. You have taken your yajna portion. You have not given anything in return. I'll kill you." Oh, how can you kill? The reason he gave is, "How can you kill a cow?" He said, "This is an emergency. I can kill you, and I'll feed all my citizens your meat." Now the third reason she gave is, "How can you kill a woman? A woman can never be killed." So now he says, next verse, translation.
Any cruel person, be he a man, woman, or impotent eunuch, who is only interested in his personal maintenance and has no compassion for other living entities, may be killed by the king. Such killing can never be considered actual killing.
Now, if somebody is a cruel person, then he can be killed, even if it is a woman or a eunuch. So, if a person is mad with ego, and the word used here is Atma Sambhavanaha Adham, he's only interested in his own maintenance or her own maintenance at the cost of others, he or she can be killed. Prabhupada writes. Kritu Maharaj argues that if a citizen is not compassionate upon his fellow men, he or she may be killed, and such killing is never considered actual killing. As far as the field of spiritual activities is concerned, when a devotee is self-satisfied and does not preach, he is not considered first-class devotee. A devotee who tries to preach, who has compassion upon innocent people, he is a superior devotee. So among those who are Bhajananandis and Goshthanandis, the Goshthanandis are superior because he is working for the welfare of people in general. As Prahlad Maharaj says, Prayena deva munayo swamukti kama maunam charanti nijanena parartha nishtha. He says there are many sages who are just moving in seclusion. Na parartha nishtha, they don't work for the welfare of people in general. But I am not like them. My heart pains when I see people suffering in this material world. He says, I am not disturbed by the material pains of the world. I am already absorbed in hearing your name, form, pastimes, Virya, Gaya, Mahamrita, Magnatripta. You know what pains me? Shochetato vimukcheta saindriyartha maya sukhaya paramutvahato vimudha. I'm just lamenting seeing the condition of the people of Kali, people of this world. They're absorbed in sense gratification. So therefore, this principle of compassion, if it is not there, then that person is not a very high class person. So he's saying, I'll kill you. And then another reason she gave is, if you destroy me, how will you uphold all the living entities? Where will you put them? So in 27th verse, he is answering that. Translation.
Any cruel person.
Yeah, 27.
Sorry, sir. You are very much puffed up with pride and have become almost insane. Presently, you have assumed the form of a cow by your mystic powers. Nonetheless, I shall cut you into small pieces like grain, and I will uphold the entire population by my personal mystic power.
He said, I will do it by my own power. I am the avatar of the Lord. I don't depend on you. Prabhupada writes in the middle of the purport. Being the incarnation of the Lord Vishnu, Prithu Maharaj possessed the power of Sankarshan, which is explained by the scientists as the power of gravitation. So the Lord is upholding millions of planets. Gama Vishya Bhutani Dharaya Me Hojasa. So Prithu says, I will support all these citizens. It's not a problem for me. I'll maintain them in space without your help. He continues. So that's how. Next verse. So nobody should underestimate the power of a devotee of the Lord. Devotee can do anything. In the 5th canto, when Priyavrat Maharaj, he created 7 islands and 7 oceans by his chariot wheels. He became the second sun. So Parikshit was surprised. ये कितने पे रखा है?
Today's extreme.
हाँ, थोड़ा कम कर सकते
Normally it doesn't work.
हैं. नहीं आज क्या बात ठंडी है ना? So when Priyavrat he performed such miraculous task, Parikshit Maharaj was surprised. How can somebody do this? It is unimaginable. So there Shukdev Goswami says nothing is impossible for a devotee. Devotee can do anything. The devotee's power comes from the Lord. Naivam vida purushakara urukramasya pumsam tadangri rajasajita shadagunanam Chitram vidura vigata sakradada dita yanna madheya madhuna sachahati bandham. He says, what is big thing for a devotee to do all these things? Or just the name of the Lord is sufficient to take one across the ocean of material existence. So what is big thing for a devotee to do all these things? It is very normal. So for the Lord himself to maintain all the citizens, it is not a big thing. So he says, I'll do it myself. I don't need your help. So in this way, he was like Yamraj, very, very angry. Next verse translation.
This time Prithvi Maharaj became exactly like Yamaraj, and his whole body appeared very angry. In other words, he was anger personified. After hearing him, the planet Earth began to tremble. He surrendered and folded hands began to speak as follows.
So she understood that I can't run away. All my arguments are destroyed. I have no other option than to surrender and ask for shelter. Because ideal king never kills a person who is surrendered. Any example? A person who surrendered was not killed.
Kali personified came in front of Parikshit
Kali
Maharaj.
personified was not killed by Parikshit. In the 1st canto also it is described when Ashwatthama, he was not killed by Arjun. There he says, if a person balam suptam balam striyam jadam prapannam viratham bhitam na ripuhanti dharmavit. A dharmavit, a knower of dharma, will never kill a person who is a child, who is a lady, balam striyam jadam mattam pramattam unmattam. That's how it starts. A mad or a person who is insane, behaving in a wrong way, intoxicated, and apannam, a surrendered person, should never be killed. So therefore she understood that there is no other option remaining for me. Now I have to surrender. So Dharani, now Mother Earth, she understood she is now taking shelter of Ritu Maharaj, and she offers beautiful prayers. Dharo vacha Nama parasmai purushaya mayaya Vinyastanana tanave gunatmane Nama swarupa anubhavena nirdhuta द्रव्य क्रियाकारक विभ्रमोर्मये.
Current earth spoke, my dear Lord, O Supreme Personality of Godhead, you are transcendental in your position, and by your material energy, you have expanded yourself in various forms and species of life through the interactions of the three modes of material nature. Unlike some other masters, you will always remain in your transcendental position and are not affected by the material creation, which is subject to different material interactions. Consequently, you are not bewildered by material activities.
So, in order to pacify his anger, she presents herself as part and parcel of the Lord's gigantic universal form. She understood that he is the avatar of the Lord, and Mother Earth is a expansion of the universal form of the Lord. So she is presenting herself in that way. She says that you expand into many forms, including me. I am coming from you. How can you kill something which has come from you? And you are never affected by any modes of material nature. Why you are becoming angry? You are always transcendental. So Prabhupada writes, after Prithu gave his royal command, Mother Earth could understand that king was a directly empowered incarnation. And therefore, the king knew everything. There was no scope for Earth cheating him. So therefore, she is now surrendering. The Earth was accused of hiding the grains, the seeds of all the herbs and grains. Therefore, she is preparing to explain how the seeds of these herbs and grains can be again exposed. So Prabhupada is describing that. Now she understood that I can't run away from Prithu. He's avatar of the Lord. So let me serve him. Let me start doing something so that he can be pacified. So what he wanted grains. He wanted seeds. So she is now explaining. Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur writes, I offer respects to you who have many bodies like mine, because you are composed of gunas. The earth is the hip of the universal form. How can you kill your own body? And your form, your body? As long as one does not realize your Swarupa Shakti, then he will see your material energy, our bodies. By realizing your Swarupa Shakti, you are understood to be completely free from the waves of samsara created by the bodies, senses, and the devtas. So she says you are transcendental, and we are coming from your Swarup, your Shakti, your Maya Shakti. So you should not become angry on your own, creation. Prabhupada writes in the purport. He quotes how now Mother Earth, she is submitting that various bodily forms are part and parcel of the Lord, and therefore lower planetary systems are the legs of the Lord, upper are the head of the Lord, and the middle portion is the Bhumandal, that is the waist of the Lord. So Lord remains completely in his internal potency and yet has full knowledge of the external energy as well as the internal energy. Just as a devotee always remains in the transcendental position, keeping himself in service of the Lord without becoming attached to the material body. So the Lord, he is completely transcendental. He never gets affected by anything material of this world. And similarly, the devotee is also not affected by anything material of this world. And Rupa Goswami says that the devotee who is always engaged in devotional service is always liberated. Ihayasya harerdasya karmana manasa gira nikhilashvapi avasthashu jivan mukta sauchyate. So he is a liberated devotee, although is staying in this material world. So Prithu Maharaj, as he is hearing all this, he says, well, if you are saying that I am your separated energy. You are my separated energy, and why are you killing me? But I have no attachment for you, so I can kill you. So she says in the next verse, answering this, statement, translation.
The planet Earth continued, my dear Lord. You are the complete conductor of the material creation. You have created this cosmic manifestation and the three material qualities. And therefore you have created me, the planet Earth, the resting place of all living entities. Yet you are always fully independent, my Lord. Now that you are present before me and ready to kill me with your weapons, let me know where I should go to take a shelter and tell me who can give me protection.
So she is now exhibiting his full surrender, her full surrender. She's saying, where will I go now? If you want to kill me, where will I go? It is like, Chakravarti Thakur writes, nobody kills a creeper which he has planted by his own hand. So you have created me, why do you want to kill me now? No person can protect a person, Prabhupada writes, Mare Krishna Rakhe Krishna Mare ke. So therefore, she is taking complete shelter of Prithu Maharaj. But Prithu Maharaj is also, not ready to forgive her. The next verse, he says, okay, you are created by me, world is made by me, and world is destroyed by me also. So I'll destroy you. So she is telling the next verse, anticipating this translation.
In the beginning of creation, you created all these moving and non-moving living entities by your conceivable energy. Through this very same energy, you are now prepared to protect the living entities. Indeed, you are the supreme protector of religious principles. Why are you so anxious to kill me, even though I am in the form of a cow?
So she's again and again telling that you are creating all the living entities by your inconceivable energy. Avitarkaya Shakti. The next second line says Avitarkaya. Your inconceivable energy produces everything, maintains everything, and you protect everyone. You are a follower of Dharma. How can you kill somebody who is created by you? So please don't be anxious to kill me. So Mother Earth, she is arguing that there is no doubt that one who creates can annihilate as well. But she questions why she should be killed when the Lord is prepared to give protection to everyone. You are giving protection to all the living entities. You told that you will uphold all the living entities on your own strength. Why do you want to kill me? She continues. So Prithu Maharaj, he may say, okay, you are saying that I am not religious, I am irreligious. You are accusing me of being irreligious. Anticipating this from Prithu Maharaj, she speaks the next verse. Translation.
My dear Lord, although you are one, by your inconceivable potencies you have expended yourself in many forms. Through the agency of Brahma, you have created this universe. You are therefore directly the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Those who are not sufficiently experienced cannot understand your transcendental activities because these persons are covered by your illusory energy.
No, my Lord, you are not irreligious, but what can be done? We are not able to understand your activities. We are bewildered by Maya. And how can a person who is bewildered by Maya understand your pastimes? It is not possible. As Kunti Maharani says, Maya javanika channam agyadokshajam avyayam lakshise mood drisha nato natya dharo yatha. We are ordinary women. How can we understand you, my Lord? We are covered by the illusory energy, Maya javanika. The curtain of illusory energy is covering our vision. Prabhupada writes, God is one, but he expands himself in various energies. Unless one is favored by the Lord, he cannot understand how the Lord acts. Athapi te deva padambujadvaya prasadaleshanugrihita eva hi. Unless one gets a drop of mercy of the Lord, lesha prasad, prasad lesha, he can never understand how the Lord works, how the Lord is working in this world. Janati tattvam bhagavan mahimno nachanya ekopi chiram. If one gets a drop, he can understand. Otherwise, nobody can understand the Lord. The living entities are also the marginal energy. Brahma is also one of them, but he is specially empowered. Brahmaji is supposed to be the creator. So she's telling about Brahma. Through the agency of Brahma, you created. So Prabhupada is writing about that. Because Brahma is the creator. He creates through Brahmaji. And then he says, in this word, Mayaya is significant. In this verse, Mayaya word is significant. Maya means energy. Lord Brahma is not the energetic, but is one of the manifestations of Lord's energy. He is just an instrument. So Prabhupada is focusing on how everything is created by the Lord through his various energies, and nobody can understand how the Lord is working in this world. What are the plans of the Lord for everyone is very difficult to understand. That's why he tells, Bhishmadev tells Yudhishthir Maharaj, that Muhyanti Kavayopihi. It is very difficult to understand how the Supreme Lord is working in this world. How does that verse start? Muhyanti Kavayopihi. He says, this personality who's standing in front of you, he's not your maternal cousin. He's not your friend or yanmanyase matuleyam surin mitram priyattamam akarot sachivam dutam saurida tatsarthi. He's not any one of them. So who is he? Eshavai Bhagavan Sakshat. That's how it starts. He's a Supreme Lord. Adyo Narayana Puman Mohayan Maya Lokan Gurhas Charati Vrishnishu. उसमें भी नहीं आता है गूढ़स चरती मुह्यंती कवयोपि किसमें आता है Bhishma says even great personalities are confused and they can't understand.
The 16th verse is the last one. Nahi asya karishit rajan.
Puman ved viditsitam yad vijigyasaya yukta muhyanti kavayo. Now Puman, nobody can understand. Nahi asya karishit. Nobody can understand the plans of the Lord. Even if great personalities, they think, they question, they argue, they inquire, they can never understand. Just accept the plan of the Lord and try to execute it. That's it. One who is experienced and is favored by the Lord can understand that everything is done according to the Lord's plan. Otherwise, nobody can understand how the Lord is working. Okay, next verse. So Dharani, as she is telling again and again, please don't kill me, and Ritu Maharaj is hell-bent on punishing. She continues. Next verse, translation.
My dear Lord, by your own potencies, you are the original cause of the material elements as well as the performing instruments, the senses, the workers of the senses, the controlling demigods, the intelligence and the ego, as well as everything else. By your energy, you manifest this entire cosmic creation, maintain it, and dissolve it. Though your energy alone, everything is sometimes manifest, sometimes not manifest. You are therefore the supreme personality of Godhead, the cause of all causes. I offer my respectful obeisances unto you.
So she is offering respects that you are the creator, maintainer, and highlighter. You possess great energy. So please don't destroy me. Chakravarti Thakur writes, therefore I offer respects to the possessor of inconceivable energy. He carries out creation with the energies composed of Dravya, Kriya and Karaka. Intelligence and ego, we have heard in the creation, all these energies are working. He has great energies, Samunnadha, and he has contrary energies, Niruddha. So your pastimes, your energies are unlimited. So you can do anything. But please don't destroy me. You can desire whatever you want. We offer respects to you. And then in the next verse, she says, you rescued me when you appeared as Varahadev and you accepted me as your wife. Now you want to kill me? All the living entities, they are our children, and you nourished, you protected me. Now why do you want to kill me? Next verse, translation. 34th.
My dear Lord, you are always unborn. Once in the form of an original boar, you rescued me from the waters in the bottom of the universe. Through your own energy, you created all the physical elements, the senses and the heart for the maintenance of the world.
Next.
My dear Lord, in this way you once protected me by a stream from the water, and consequently your name has been almost as Radhara, he who holds the planet Earth. Yet at the present moment, in the form of a great hero, you are about to kill me with sharpened arrows. I am, however, just like a boat on the water, keeping a
So she is reminding, oh Lord, you protected me once, and now you want to kill me. So why do you want to kill me? So Prabhupada writes, no one can understand the pastimes of the Lord. Now he's so very upset that he wants to destroy Mother Earth. So Mother Earth is begging. Chakravarti Thakur writes, your progeny were my children situated in my lap, and I constantly nourished them with milk. Seeing their evil ways at this time, now she is telling the reason. Why I stopped my grains. Seeing their evil ways at this time, I, as a mother, teaching them good character, have become angry and do not supply milk. And you are the master and you are punishing me. It is not good, O my Lord. I'm just teaching my children how to behave properly. So please don't destroy me, don't kill me. Next verse, translation.
My dear Lord, I am also the creation of one of your energies, composed of the three moods of material nature. Consequently, I am bewildered by your activities. Even the activities of your devotees cannot be understood, and what to speak of your pastimes. Thus, everything appears to us to be contradictory and wonderful.
Even your devotees behave in different ways. You are behaving in a very bewildering way. Your devotees are also difficult to understand. Vaishnavera Kriya Mudra Vigyana Bujhai. Even a devotee's activities are difficult to understand. So, how can I understand your pastimes, my Lord? It appears everything to us as contradictory and wonderful. So, she's saying, you are always merciful, always you have shown your mercy. Prabhupada, Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur writes that though the wives of the Devatas or their sons or servants may believe you will kill me, I do not believe that you will. You will never kill me. Because your desire is never understood by any of this. Because I know I offer respects to he who brings fame to people renowned for charity. If you are not merciful to me, then the fame of charitable persons will be gone. You are known to be very charitable, very merciful. If you don't show mercy, then the fame of charitable persons will be destroyed. So therefore, please protect me. Prabhupada writes, the activities of Supreme Lord in his various avatars are always uncommon and they're wonderful. Nobody can understand their plans. It is impossible for a tiny human being to estimate the purpose and plans. Therefore, Jiva Goswami has said, unless the Lord's activities are accepted as achintya, inconceivable, nobody can understand. How the Lord works is so very wonderful. Last paragraph is Prabhupada writing very wonderfully. He says, the Lord is situated in everyone's heart, right? He is situated in the heart of a thief also and the heart of a police also. So the Lord in the heart of a thief, he dictates, go and steal things from that particular house. And the Lord tells the householder, oh, be careful of thieves and burglars. So the Lord is acting in very inconceivable ways. You are giving different instructions to different people. You are telling the thief, steal. And you are telling the householder to, protect the, household resources. How is it? It is so very inconceivable, contradictory. So therefore, don't try to understand the Lord, just surrender to the Lord. Surrender to the will of the Lord. How the Lord is working in our life, nobody can understand. So that is the last verse of this chapter. Now, next chapter. Prithu Maharaj milks the earth. So Prithu, even after hearing so many, nice words, still he was not satisfied. Next verse, translation please.
Great Saint Vaibhav continued to address Vidura. My dear Vidura, at that time, after the planet Earth finished our prayers, King Prithu was still not pacified, and his lips trembled in great anger. Although the planet Earth was frightened, she made up her mind and began to speak as follows in order to convince the king.
So she is still very frightened because Prithu Maharaj is not pacified yet. She continues. She says, please understand the essence of everything. A great personality is like a honeybee. Sanniyachabhibho manyum vibodha shravitam cha me sarvata saram adatte yatha madhukaro buddha.
My dear Lord, please specify your anger completely and hear patiently whatever I submit before you. Please turn your kind attention to this. I may be very poor, but a learned man takes the essence of knowledge from all places, just as bumblebees collects honey from each and every.
Yes. So she's saying, I may be very insignificant, but a great person can take good thing from anywhere. Sanyacha, please give up your manyu, anger. Nibodha shravitam. And please hear patiently what I say. Sarvata saramadatte, because I may be poor, but I am speaking something very important. Become like a honeybee. Take the essence from a filthy place. I may have done something wrong apparently, but I am speaking a good thing. He says, what do you want? She's trying to say, okay, you want milk, right? A bee doesn't destroy the flower to get honey. So if you want milk, you should know how to get it. If you destroy me, how will you get milk? So please control your anger and I will tell you how you can get milk from me. Because ultimately you want milk, right? You want, all the grains and everything for the welfare of people in general. So I will tell you proper method. Don't become angry. Asmin loke athama mushmin Munibe sattvadarshibhi drishta yoga prayuktascha pumsam shreya prasidhyate.
To benefit all humans not only in this life, but in the next, the great seers and sages have prescribed various methods conducive to the prosperity or the people in general?
So he says, Asmin loke athava amushmin. If you want prosperity, asmin in this world and amushmin in the next world. So you should know what the great sages have told. Muni bhi, tattvadarshi bhi. Those who are sages, those who are the seers of truth, they have prescribed a method. Follow the method. Destroying me will not solve the problem. If you follow the method, you will become prosperous and your citizens will also become happy. So Prabhupada writes, Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur writes first, milk is obtained by milking the full udder of the cow, not from a strained or a torn udder. Therefore, take all the food situated in me by proper method. So I'll tell you the method, don't destroy me. To express this, she shows the proof of the method. What is the proof? Well, the methods have been acknowledged by the great sages. The many previous sages, they have described the method. Use the method. Don't destroy me. You are not acting in right way. So she is, although she is very fearful, but still she is giving all the good advice to Prithu Maharaj. Because she's saying you are not following the right standards, right method. Prabhupada writes in the purport that if somebody is not following Shruti and Smriti, then they are lost. Shruti, Smriti, Puranadi, Pancharatra Vidhim Vina, Ekantiki, Harer Bhakti, Utpataya Kalpate. If somebody is practicing bhakti without following the rules and regulations of Shruti and Smriti, they'll create havoc in the society. So Prabhupada writes, in Manusmriti, it is stated that a woman should not be given independence, she should be given protection. She should always be under protection of the guardian. If people follow the injunctions given by the great sages, Shrutis and the Smritis, they can actually be happy both in this life and in the next life. Unfortunately, the rascals are manufacturing so many ways and means to be happy. Consequently, human society has lost the standard ways of life, both materially and spiritually. And as a result, people are bewildered. There is no peace. So if we want to become peaceful in this life and in the next life, two words are important here. Prabhupada writes, Asmin, Amushmin, in this life and in the next life. So people now, all the learned scholars and the scientists, they don't believe in the next life. That is a problem. So to speak of having a good next life. So therefore, what advice they can give? They'll give only foolish advice. It's like a Hinduism professor, somebody, one devotee brought, I think Swarup Damodar Maharaj, he brought this Hindu professor to Srila Prabhupada. And they were discussing and Prabhupada told, tell me the meaning of Hinduism. So he told Prabhupada, Swamiji, can you tell me the meaning of Hinduism? Prabhupada said, you tell, you are the professor of Hinduism. Because professor thought that I'll tell him something and he will tell something about Hinduism and then I'll refute it and I'll prove myself better. Prabhupada was no less. He said, you tell. So this professor, he said, I don't know, Swamiji, you tell me what is Hinduism. So Prabhupada, he turned to one devotee and said, just see, he is teaching something which he doesn't know. What do you call such person? So this devotee said, he is Prabhupada, he is rascal. So, rascal, Prabhupada, we'll call such person rascal. So Prabhupada turned to this professor, he said, he is calling you rascal. And then this person said, he started arguing and then he said, tell me the meaning of, and then he said, actually, but whatever it may be, I am an honest rascal. And then he said, Okay, you tell me the meaning of Sarvadharman Parityajya. Prabhupada said, why should I tell? He said, if you want to know the meaning of Sarvadharman Parityajya, you become a disciple first. Then I will tell the meaning of Sarvadharman Parityajya. So it was like huge argument happening. So Prabhupada is telling that, nowadays people, they don't know about next life. What can they tell about, what is good for next life? They don't believe in next life. Prabhupada writes, it is duty of everyone to mold his life in a way that he will have a profitable next life. Just as a boy is educated in order to become happy later, one should be educated in this life to attain an eternal and prosperous next life. Tanadishtati asamyak upayan purvadarshitan avara shraddhayopeta upayan vindatenjasa.
One who follows the principles and instructions enjoined by the great sages of the past can utilize these instructions for practical purposes. Such a person can very easily enjoy life and pleasures.
So what will happen if you follow my orders, follow my words? If you follow the words of great sages, what is the result of following? Tan atishtati samyak. Samyak means one who completely follows the principles and instructions. Purvadarshitan, as described by previous sages. What will happen? Avara shraddhayopeta. Even if somebody is avara means inexperienced. If somebody is inexperienced, still if he follows the words of great sages, shraddhayapeta, with faith, what will happen? Upayan vindate anjasa. Such a person can live very happily. He can enjoy his life and the pleasures in this life, even if somebody is inexperienced. So that is very important. Even if we are inexperienced in this world, if we just follow the words of the great sages and have faith, and with faith, shraddhayopeta. Prabhupada talks about Mahajano yena gatah sapantha. Just by following the words of the great sages, even an inexperienced person can enjoy in this world. Because in this world, everyone is born foolish. Prabhupada writes, everyone is abodha jata. He is born a fool and rascal. This is spoken by Rishabdev. Paravarastavad abodha jata. Everyone is born foolish. But if they follow the words of spiritual masters and the great sages and the scriptures, then they can become successful. They can also enjoy. In democratic government, at present moment, all kinds of fools and rascals are making decisions. But what can they do? What is the result of their legislation? They enact something today just to whimsically repeal it tomorrow. They keep changing their decisions because they are not intelligent. They are not experienced. They are abodha jata. What they are doing is punaha punascharvita charvananam. They are just chewing what is chewed. They will never become successful. There is only one way to be successful. Just follow the words of the great sages. Follow the words of acharyas. And even if we are inexperienced, foolishly born, will be successful. एतां स आस्थाय परात्मनिष्ठा अध्यासितं पूर्वतमैः महर्षिभिः अहं तरिष्यामि दुरन्तपारं तमो मुकुन्दाङ्घ्रिनिषेवयैव. This is the verse spoken by Avanti Brahman. This is a sannyas mantra. Mahaprabhu spoke this. Etam sa asthaya. What is my faith? Paratmanishta. I have faith in the Paratma. I have faith in the words of previous Acharya. Purvatamai Maharshibi. The path which is led by previous Acharyas, if I will follow that path, aham tarishyami. I will also cross. And then she says, but if you neglect my advice, if you ignore the instructions of the great sages, and if you work whimsically, then what will happen? Next verse she says, Tananadityo vidwan Arthan arabate swayam tasya vyavicharantyartha arabdhascha punah punah.
A foolish person who manufactures in his own ways and means through mental speculation and does not recognize the authority of the sages who lay down unimpeachable directions is simply unsuccessful again and again in his life.
Yes. So what is the result of ignoring? Tan anadritya. Anadritya means if he does not honor or if he neglects. He is avidwan, he is foolish. Arthan arabhate. He manufactures his own ways and means through mental speculation. Tasya vyabhicharanti artha. Vyabhicharanti means his attempts, they never become successful. He may make any attempts, but all his attempts will be unsuccessful. So that is the power of following the words and disobeying the words. As Krishna spoke to Arjun, Machitta sarvadurgani matprasada tarishyasi athajetvam ahankara nashrosyasi viramshasi. If you follow my words, you'll become successful. Machitta, if you be conscious of me, sarva durgani tarishyati, you will cross all the obstacles. But if you act out of ego, nashrosyasi, nahi sunoge, vinanshasi, you will be destroyed. Prabhupada writes, at present moment, it has become fashionable to disobey. No, I will not follow. Whatever great souls have spoken, I will not follow. Presently, people are so fallen that they cannot distinguish between a liberated soul and a conditioned soul. Prabhupada talks about who is a liberated soul, who is a conditioned soul. Conditioned soul has 4 defects. And people, they are just interested in enjoying, so therefore they don't take directions from a liberated person. So even if the follower is not perfect, as the last verse said, he is not perfect. Avara. The word used here was he's not experienced. Even if somebody is not experienced, avara, but has faith, he will definitely become successful. But if somebody is not following the words, he will be destroyed. So we have to just follow the words of the superior devotees. Prabhupada writes, although a follower may not be a liberated person, if he follows the supreme liberated personality of Godhead, his actions are actually liberated from contamination of material nature. We may not be perfect, but if we are following the perfect, Prabhupada would say, I am a postal peon. What can I do? What can I give? But personally, I may have defects. Whatever I have received, I am giving it. That is my credit. I am not adding anything, I am not subtracting anything. So if we just follow the words of spiritual masters and devotees, senior devotees, we will also become perfect. Prabhupada quotes this. Amara Adhyaya Guru Ya Tara Ei Desh Yar Dekhat Tara Kaho Krishna Upadesh. So here, Mother Earth, she is telling Prithu Maharaj that please follow the method. Don't destroy me. Don't kill me. You want grains? You follow the method. You don't behave in a whimsical way. So Prithu Maharaj, he has just appeared in this world and he is playing the role of a human being. So apparently, he is not aware that sacrifices have been stopped. Because Vena, he stopped the sacrifices. So apparently, he is not aware that, oh, sacrifices were stopped by Vena. So therefore, the earth has stopped, giving all these things, all these grains. So Prithu Maharaj is now very angry. So although when Prithu Maharaj appeared, all the great sages and the Devtas, they came and offered prayers, and even Mother Earth offered prayers. She also gave benedictions and gifts. But Prithu Maharaj, he is playing the role of a human being here. He is empowered representative Shatyavesh avatar. So he will now accept the instructions of Mother Earth. So nobody should think that, why should I accept corrections? I am Supreme Lord. So Prithu Maharaj is showing, however great one may be, if one does a mistake, one should accept the corrections. That is the theme of this entire episode. That although Prithu Maharaj, he made a mistake, and he's punishing Mother Earth for no reason. But when he understood that, okay, I have made a mistake, he is ready to accept that and he is ready to correct himself. He is now listening. Now he is not telling, I'll kill you, why are you instructing me? So he is now accepting that, okay, you are telling me something, I will accept it. So that's how when the Lord performs some pastimes, although he may appear as an ordinary human being, he also accepts corrections. So nobody should say that I am beyond corrections, I am such a great personality, I am the leader here, I am the authority here, why I should take corrections? Prithu Maharaj is showing by his personal example that everybody should be under supervision of somebody and everybody should accept some authority and accept the instructions and corrections given by that person. So that is the wonderful instruction of Prithu Maharaj. So another thing we should understand is we should never judge. Yeah, Prithu Maharaj is making mistake. Whenever great personalities they make some mistake, we should learn from their mistake without judging the persons. Any other example of any great personalities who made mistakes? Brahmaji made mistake, ran behind Vak, or
Vyasdev.
Vyasdev. Vyasdev
Yes.
made mistake. He wrote all the Vedas in a way that Krishna was not glorified. Bhavata anudita prayam yasho bhagavato malam. That was a mistake. He was corrected and he accepted it. So many other examples are there. Whenever a great personality makes a mistake, just like Yayati, Pururava, all those people, Chitraketu, we should never think, ये भी ऐसी mistake करते हैं देखो. Never ever judge them, never offend them. So Prithu Maharaj, apparently he made a mistake. So she is now Mother Earth, she is telling all this. He is listening. So Prithu, he told that the seeds were created by Brahmaji and he accused that you are hiding the seeds. So now in the next verse, she is describing the reasons for why she had hidden the seeds. Pura srishta hi oshadhayo brahmanaya vishampate bhujyamana maya drishta asadbhir adhritabratai.
My dear king, the seeds, roots, herbs, and grains which were created by Lord Brahma in the past are now being used by non-devotees who are devoid of all spiritual understanding.
Okay, so now she is telling the reason why she stopped all the grains. She says, Pura Srishta, yes, you said that the seeds were created in the beginning by Brahmaji, Brahmanaya, by Brahma, he created all these things. But problem was, you know what? I was ruled by people who are adhrita vratai. They are devoid of sinful spiritual activities, and asadbhir, they were non-devotee. So that's why I stopped. I just didn't allow them to misuse my resources. So Prabhupada writes, although there is immense potency within the earth to produce grains and fruits and flowers, but this production is checked by the earth itself when it is misused by non-devotees. So that is very important to understand. When the non-devotees use this facilities, then Mother Earth stops giving all the resources. Although, everything belongs to the Supreme Lord and everything can be used for His satisfaction. Things should not be used for sense gratification. Non-devotees are called as Griha Vrata. Prabhupada writes, Griha Vrata and Dhrita Vrata. Namam Dushkritno Modha Prapadyante Naradhama Maya Aparita Jnana Asuram Bhavam. They are all Griha Vrata, they are all non-devotees. But the devotees are Dhrita Vrata. They are only working for the pleasure of the Lord. And Mother Earth, she is a wife of Lord. She is a chaste lady. How can she allow anyone to misuse the resources? And if somebody is using her resources and not using the service of Krishna, she will not allow them. So that is what is happening here. Prabhupada writes few words. Krishnarthe akhila cheshta. All our activities are intended to satisfy the senses of the Supreme. This is one of the limbs of Bhakti. 64 limbs. One of the limbs is Krishnarthe Akhila Cheshta. Our all endeavors should be done only for pleasing the Lord. That's it. So Mother Earth, she says, Arey Baba, they were not using it. So I have stopped. They were exploiting my resources, non-devotees who had no spiritual values. Apalitana Dritacha भवद्भिर्लोकपालकै चोरी भूते अथ लोकेऽहम् यज्ञार्थे अग्रसमोषधी.
My dear king, not only are grains and house being used by non-devotees, but as far as I am concerned, I am not being properly maintained. Indeed, I am being neglected by kings who are not punishing these rascals who have turned into thieves by using grains for sensitive purposes.
So now in 6 verses, she is explaining her situation. She says,
Consequently, I have hidden all these seeds which were meant for the performance of sex.
So in these 6 verses now, 7 onwards, she is explaining what is happening now. She says, first of all, they were not spiritual, asadbhi. They were adhrita, they were not holding spiritual principles. Apalita, they were not maintaining me. Anadrita, they were not giving respect to me. And therefore, people have become chori bhute, they have become chor, they have become thieves. So therefore, I have eaten all my seeds. So Prabhupada in the purport, he describes, Chakravarti Thakur writes, with Vena in the mind, she scolds his son Prithu. She is now scolding Prithu Maharaj that kings like you didn't protect me. Because your father was exploiting me, you didn't protect me. So she is unprotected because no sacrifices are being performed. She is not protected because the religion has spread. And after Vena died, what happened? Entire place became full of thieves. So therefore, what can I do? I stopped giving all these things. I have not devoured. If I had not devoured all these plants, then how could I possess them now? I protected these seeds for you only. In future, if some pious king performs sacrifice, then I'll give them again. If I would have given everything to all those sinful people, and nothing was remaining. So I have done all this for your pleasure. So Prabhupada in the purport he describes how Chori Bhute, the population has turned to thievery. Men are transformed into thieves when they plan economic development for sense gratification. That is Chori Bhute. It is not stealing others' property. It is stealing property of God for one's own sense gratification. According to Bhagavad Gita, everything should be offered to the Lord. Yagyarthat karmano anyatra. Prabhupada says this is spiritual communism. Everything belongs to the Lord. And in that spiritual communism, everything is happy. Everyone is happy. Nobody is exploited in spiritual communism. But in contrast to material communism, the rich people, they remain rich, and the poor people, they remain poor only.
There is capitalism, no? Capitalism.
Yeah, that is also there. In communism also, in the name of distributing everything equally, they keep some sections of people very poor, and some people they remain rich. Just like somebody was telling this. The king announced that whatever you have, 50% you should give to the king. That is communism. Everything should be equally distributed. You should not keep more than your neighbor. So one person came and said, he was asking one person, he said, if you have 2 houses, will you give one to your neighbor? He said, yes, of course I will give. If you have 2 cars, will you give one? Will you not give one to your neighbor? Of course I will give. If you have 2 cows, will you not give one to your neighbor? He said, I will not give. Why? Because I have 2 cows. He didn't have 2 houses. He didn't have 2 cars. तो बोलने में क्या जाता है?
Good one.
मेरे पास 2 गाय है, तो why should I give? So forced equality doesn't work in this world. So communism means equal distribution. It doesn't happen. If things are equally distributed, people they lose their impetus to work. And they are exploited by some people, because some people who are on the top, they keep resources, some of the resources with themselves only. So Prabhupada writes, according to spiritual communism, all properties on the surface of the globe belongs to the Supreme Lord. The population has a right to use goods only after offering them, that is prasad. It is duty of the governor and king to punish such thieves and maintain the world nicely. If this is not done, grain will no longer be produced and people will starve. Indeed, not only will people be obliged to eat less, they'll kill one another and eat others' flesh. So she continues. She says, okay, now what you should do? Next verse, translation.
Due to being stocked for a very long time, all the grain seeds within me have certainly deteriorated. Therefore, you should immediately arrange to take these seeds out by the standard process, which is recommended by the Acharyas or Shastras.
Now she's telling, please take these grains out of my womb immediately, because they are already getting deteriorated, they are not used for long. And then Prabhupada focuses on this word, Shina. Shina means deterioration. Prabhupada describes about that word, Shina. Yeah. There are two significant words, yogena and drishtena, by approved method, and drishtena as exemplified by the acharyas. If one is mistaken if he thinks that by applying modern machines, the grains can be produced. If one goes to a desert and uses a tractor, still there is no possibility of producing grains. We may adopt various means, but it is essential to know that the planet Earth will stop producing grains if sacrifices are not performed. So we should understand the basic principle of having a peaceful and flourishing life. If somebody is not following the principles given in scriptures, then one cannot get sufficient food. Grains also, you cannot exploit grains, exploit Mother Earth unlimitedly. Chakravarti Thakur writes, Shina means situated in subtle form, and Drishtena Yogena means by the process. I'll explain. So the grains, she's saying the seeds are now getting deteriorated. Please take them out by standard method. Don't use artificial means. So Prabhupada is focusing on this. Yogena, drishtena. Don't use artificial means to get seeds out of me. Use standard methods only, which is prescribed by acharyas and teachers. Because if somebody is not using the standard methods, I will not give grains properly. So that's why Prabhupada is writing all these tractors and everything. There is a proper method. Do yajna, then rains will come, and then plow the field properly by using plow, and the grains will be there. Mother Earth will provide grains, and use them in serving the Lord. Next, she continues to describe. Yes, translation please. So she is describing the standard method. What is the method you should use? She said standard yogena drishtena. What is that yogena drishtena?
O great hero, protector of living entities, if you desire to relieve the living entities by supplying them sufficient grains, and if you desire to nourish them by taking milk from me, you should make arrangements to bring calves suitable for this purpose, and a pot in which the milk can be kept, as well as milkmen to do the work. Since I will be very much affectionate towards my calf, your desires to take milk from me will be fulfilled.
Yeah. So the calf should be there, the pot should be there, and the milkman should be there. Just like the cow gives milk when calf is brought, so Mother Earth will also be having the impetus to give when the particular calf is brought in front of her. Okay. Next verse, translation.
My dear king, may I inform you that you have to make the entire surface of the globe level. This will help me even when the rainy season has ceased. Rainfall comes by the mercy of the King Indra. Rainfall will remain on the surface of the globe, always keeping the earth moistened, and thus it will be auspicious for all kinds of products.
So now the earth is not even. So if the rains come, they don't stay on the ground, they go to the rivers or the oceans. So it is not benefiting people. So you level the earth properly so that the water can stay on earth and make the earth moistened for the particular grains to grow. Next verse, translation.
Hearing the just like pleasing words of the planet Earth, the king accepted them. He then transformed Srimad into a calf and milked all the herbs and grains from the earth in the form of a calf, keeping them in his cup hands.
So now from 12th to 28th verse, Prithu Maharaj is making different people as cows and as calves, and he is getting the desired ingredients from Mother Earth. Mother Earth can provide everything, provided a particular calf is brought in front. So Swayambhu Manu, he was made the calf, and they milked all the grains and the herbs. Okay, next.
Others who were as intelligent as King Prithu also took the essence out of the earthly planet. Indeed, everyone took this opportunity to follow in the footsteps of King Prithu and get whatever he desired from the planet Earth.
So Mother Earth is called Vasundhara. Vasu means the wealth. Dhara, one who holds the wealth. So Mother Earth has all the wealth inside her. So if we engage a particular process, we can get that wealth. And what is that process? Do yajna. When the yajna is stopped, then Mother Earth will uphold everything. She will not give anything for irreligious purposes. We may get all these things for some time maybe for some decades or some centuries, but ultimately everything will be stopped. Prabhupada writes some very wonderful words in this purport lines. He says, by the regular performance of yajna, the equal distribution of wealth, and the restriction of sense gratification, the entire world will be made peaceful and prosperous. Golden words. How can entire world become prosperous and peaceful? By performance of yajna, equal distribution of wealth, and restriction of sense gratification. This is the secret of peaceful and prosperous life. As already mentioned, in the age of Kali, the simple performance of Sankirtan Yajna was
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
No, Prabhuji, I said Sankirtan Yajna was Hare Krishna Mahamantra,
Okay.
as Prabhupada said usually.
So that is the only thing which is needed in this world. Sankirtan Yajna, now all the other yajnas not possible. So therefore, Prabhupada always emphasizes Sankirtan Yajna. Okay, next translations.
All the great sages transformed Brihaspati into calf and making the senses into pot. They milked all kinds of Vedic knowledge to purify words, mind, and brain.
So Prabhupada writes, if the human society remains satisfied simply by taking grains, as well as other necessities for maintaining the body, society will not be sufficiently prosperous. We have to understand that just living for the body will not make the society prosperous. Humanity must have food for the mind and ears also. Just body is not important. One has to have food for the mind and ear. That is the Hare Krishna mantra. Okay, next verse.
All the demigods made Indra, the king of heaven, into a calf, and from the earth they milked the beverage soma, which is nectar. Thus they became very powerful in mental speculation and bodily and sensual strength.
Next.
The sons of Diti and the demons transformed Prahlad Maharaj, who was born in Asura family, into calf, and they extracted various kinds of liquor and beer which they put into a pot made of iron.
Okay. So Prabhupada writes, whereas the nectarian soma was put in a golden pot, the liquors and beers were put in an iron pot. Because liquor and beer are inferior. They are placed in iron pot. Okay, next verse. Translation.
The inhabitants of Gandharva and Apsaraloka made Vishwasu into a cup, and they drew the milk into a record of flower pots. The milk took the shape of sweet musical art and beauty.
Next.
The fortunate inhabitants of Pitraloka, who preside over the funeral ceremonies, made Arima into a calf, and with great faith they mixed the kavya, food offered to the ancestors, into an unbaked earthen pot.
So Prabhupada writes how Pitriyanti Pitrivrata, there are those who are interested in family welfare, they worship all the Pitris, and Aryama is the predominating deity of the Pitri Loka. So he was made into calf, and they milked all the food for the ancestors. He is somewhat of a demigod, and by satisfying him, one can help ghostly family members develop a gross body. Because of some sinful activity, if some of the ancestors does not have a body also, they can be given a body by worship of Aryama. And Prabhupada writes about the Shraddha and Gaya, Pindadan and all that. Next verse.
After this, the inhabitants of Siddhaloka as well as inhabitants of Vidyadhara Loka transformed the great sage Kapila into calf and making the whole sky into pot. They milked out specific yogic mystic powers, beginning with Anima. Indeed, the inhabitants of Vidyadhara Loka acquired the art of flying in the sky.
So the mystic siddhis, they were milked by Mother Earth. Prabhupada talks about the various mystic siddhis which can be obtained by practice of yoga. The 8 limbs of yoga Prabhupada describes, and how Kapila Dev, the same Kapila, son of Kardam Muni and Devahuti, was made the calf. Next verse, translation.
Others also, the inhabitants of planets known as Impurusha Loka, made the demon Maya into a calf. Demon Maya into a calf, and they milked out mystic powers by which one can disappear immediately from another's vision and appear again in a different form.
So they got the power of Antardhan from Mother Earth by making Maya demon as the calf. Okay, next.
Then the Rakshasas, ghosts, and witches who are habitual to picking flesh transformed Lord Shiva's incarnations Rudra, Bhutanatha, into a calf and milked out beverages made of blood and put them into a pot made of curds.
Next.
Thereafter, the cobras and snakes without hoods, large snakes, scorpions, and many other poisonous animals took poison out of the planet Earth as their milk and kept this poison in the snake holes. They made a calf out of Rakshasa.
Next.
The four-legged animals like the cows made a calf out of the bull who carries Lord Shiva and made a milking pot out of the forest. Thus they got fresh green grasses to eat. Ferocious animals like tigers transformed a lion into a calf, and thus they were able to get flesh for milk. The birds made a calf out of Garuda and took milk from the planet Earth and in the form of moving insects and non-moving plants and grasses.
Next.
Trees made a calf out of the banyan tree, and thus they derived milk in the form of many delicious juices. The mountains transform the Himalayas into a calf, and they milk a variety of minerals into a pot made up of the tips of mills.
Next.
The planet Earth supplied everyone his respective food during the time of a King Prithu. The earth was fully under the control of the king. Thus all the inhabitants of the earth could get their food supply by creating various types of calves and putting their particular types of milk in various pots.
So that's how all the different inhabitants, they made different people as calves, and they achieved whatever they wanted. In fact, ultimately the Lord is only supplying everything. That's what Prabhupada writes in the purport. The Lord supplies food to everyone. Eko bahunam yo vidadhati kaman. Lord is one, but he supplies all the necessities to everyone. In this way, yeah. Next verse, translation.
My dear Vidura, chief of the Kurus, in this way King Prithu and all others who subsist on food created different types of calves and milked out their respective eatables. Thus they received their various food stuffs which are symbolized as milk.
Next.
Thereafter, King Prithu was very with the Canto. was he sufficiently supplied all food to various divinities. Thus, he developed an affection for the Creator, just as if she were his own daughter.
So he accepted Mother Earth as his own daughter. So Chakravarti Thakur writes something very interesting. It was inappropriate to take her as a wife, since he milked her for food with his own hands. It was inappropriate to take her as his mother, since he threatened to punish her with his arrows. Finally, when affection appeared, he took her as his daughter. Okay, then Prithu Maharaj, he flattened the earth. Translation?
After this, Hare Krishna, after this, the king of the kings, Maharaj Prithu, leveled all rock places on the surface of the globe by breaking up the hill with the strength of his bow. By his grace, the surface of the by his grace, the surface of the globe almost become flat. Hare Krishna.
So generally, it is the duty of Indra to level the earth by his thunderbolt. But Prithu Maharaj didn't want to wait for Indra also. He did it himself. And he leveled the surface of the earth. Next verse translation.
To all the citizens of
Hare
this
Krishna.
King Prithu was as good as father. Thus he was visibly engaged in giving them proper subsistence and proper employment for subsistence. After leveling the surface of the globe, he earmarked different places for residential quarters in as much as they were desired.
So he made proper town planning also. He made all the arrangements and he earmarked where will be residential places, where will be commercial places. He made a proper town planning. That was the first town planning made. Yes, next verse, translation.
In this way, the king founded many types of villages, settlements, and towns and built forts, residences for cowherdsmen, stables for the animals, and places for the royal camps, mining places, agriculture towns, and mountain villages.
Next.
Before the reign of King Prithu, there was no planned arrangements for different cities, villages, pasturing grounds, etc. Everything was scattered and everyone constructed his residential quarters according to his own convenience. However, since King Prithu, plans were made for towns and villages.
He made the first planned city.
Cute city.
Smart city.
Smart city.
Smart city. Cute city.
Previous to that, everybody would make residences according to their convenience. जहाँ पे बना दिया कोई कोई.
Ground में ऐसे ही था. अभी improve हो रहा है वो सब.
So Prithu Maharaj had done in the beginning only all this. So Prabhupada writes, from this statement it appears that town and city planning is not new, but has been coming down since the time of Prithu. In India, we can see regular planning methods evident in very old cities like Dwaraka, Mathura, Hastinapur, but also very well planned. Okay, so that's the end of this 18th chapter. We'll stop here. We'll continue next time. We'll start with the 19th chapter, another very interesting, important chapter. King Prithu's 100 horse sacrifices. And we'll see in this chapter how 99 is greater than 100. Okay, we'll stop here.
Next time नहीं होना 17. Prabhupada का ही रहेगा.
Next time नहीं होगा because Prabhupada festival.
Whenever it happens next.
नहीं मैं clear क्यों बोला बाद में फिर वापस मैसेज होगा.
संडे को नहीं होगा, उसके पहले एक दिन कर लेंगे.
क्यों आना?
ओके.
ये 15, 15, 16, 17 सब ये है फेस्टिवल्स है ना. अगले वीक में रखो चाहिए.
देखते हैं.
टाइट हो जाएगा.
Let's see. We'll stop here. Thank you very much.
17 तीनों दिन का पूरा फंक्शन.
देखते हैं कभी कभी.
प्रभु जी टेस्ट भी मत रखिए.
वो भी
टेस्ट भी नहीं रखेंगे. ठीक है. फिर तो एग्जाम, फिर तो टेस्ट नहीं रखेंगे तो क्लास तो लेना ही पड़ेगा. One of this should be there.
ऐसे नहीं बोलता नहीं. अभी क्या हो रहा है?
मंडे से हमारा कॉन्ग्रीगेशन का भी कंटिन्यूअस
रहेगा तो 4 दिन में